Usually when you find something about yourself online, it is leaked by you. What should you share online and what you shouldn't? Internet expert Dave Hatter from Libertas Technology joining me this morning. That's the true statement, right? Most of the time when you find stuff about yourself on the internet, you're the one who leaked that information.
You're absolutely right, Rob. People do a lot of damage to themselves.
They do a lot of damage to themselves.
They really do.
So what should you share online? Because in terms of having fun on the internet, you have to share some information, correct?
Yeah, you want to be authentic and you want to have fun. That's why people join things like Facebook, right? To share with their friends, reconnect with people they haven't seen in a long time. But, you know, unfortunately, there always are unscrupulous people out there, and there's been for years. This is not a new topic. I just happened to stumble across an article, and Dan thought it would be interesting. You know, people go online and they talk about going on vacation.
Yeah.
And it's fun to talk about it afterwards and post pictures afterwards, but there have been actual rings of thieves in New Hampshire. Over 50 homes were burglarized by a ring of thieves who would befriend people in New Hampshire, wait for them to post things like that online, and then go rob their house, steal everything they can get their hands on.
I never post pictures from vacation sites because it terrifies me too much, but I will post it after I get back. Well, because you would assume these people don't know where I live.
Well, and that you bring up another good point. You know, if you're going to do something like that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it afterwards. You don't want to talk about, well, I'm going to be gone for the next week beforehand. While you're gone, if you start posting this stuff, it's essentially, you know, because you're not going to probably know every single person you're connected to on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. There could be some thieves out there, or someone you know may share these things totally innocently, and someone they're connected to comes and robs you because they're going to.
You don't ever post pictures and say, hey, I'm on vacation in Florida, I'll be there until next Thursday, here's my address. But people can go all over the place and find out all this information about you, put it together, and bam, you're sitting duck.
If they really want to steal your stuff, even if you don't give it to them, absolutely they can. And another thing you can do to help protect yourself to some degree, most of these things like Twitter and Facebook they'll ask you a question when you first sign up. Do you want to expose your location? It doesn't say it quite like that, but like when you tweet, you know, it can say, well, this came from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Sure.
If you have that feature turned on and you go on vacation, even if you're not saying, well, I'm in the Bahamas, it's telling people that, and you may not realize that. So you need to check before you go on vacation, you know, do you have that feature enabled? It's a little different on each one of these services, but every one of them will track where you are if you let them. So, you know, there's lots of things. Yeah, don't talk about stuff before you do it. Don't give out too much information about yourself. And each person's going to have to figure out what the right risk tolerance for them is. Like, you know, but part of the value of these things is, especially if you're looking for a job, saying like where you've worked and that kind of thing. So each person's going to have to decide for themselves. But the real trick is just don't talk about stuff that's going to lead people to your house to steal your stuff. I mean, it's just that simple.
Just use common sense. Just because you're on a computer doesn't mean that it's not getting out to quite possibly millions of people.
That's exactly right. And people who unfortunately are looking for folks like you, telling them that you're not going to be home during this time when they can come steal your stuff.
And they're probably better on the internet than you are.
Probably. I mean, they're making a career out of it.
Libertas Technologies, thank you very much, man.
Thanks, Rob.